so this is Miss Marshall, and she's a gym teacher at our school. Okay, so what specific duties does your job entail?
Well, I have 3 classes in a day, so I'm responsible for those students during my class. So whether that be a health class or a class in the gym, I guess. I have to keep track of whether they're here and what they're doing during class, as well as marking assignments when they hand them in and report cards.
What does a good 30-minute lesson plan consist of for you?
It would, if we were in the gym, I guess a warm-up, some sort of skill that we were learning, maybe with some practice, and then some sort of game at the end. Maybe a cool down, which would be stretching or walking back from wherever we are.
What personal qualities are essential for your profession?
I guess I have some sort of leadership qualities for sure, to be able to run the class and keep everybody in order. An amount of patience, I guess, to deal with different personalities in the class, as well as lots of problem-solving skills, I guess, to deal with interactions between students and, different things happening, whether it be weather or the gym gone or changing things at the last second. So those kinds of things have to be there as well, time management.
What physical qualities are essential in the profession?
Well, I usually try not to ask students to do something that I'm not willing to or able to do myself. So I think that being in some sort of physical shape is always a good idea, or at least if you can't maybe do something, so skating would be a weakness for me. I'll have some of the background as far as the technical components go, and hopefully I have some leaders in the class that I can draw on when things like that come up.
Yes. Why is physical education important to you?
Because it's something, I suppose it's something that I do regularly. It's something that I believe in. I think it's important. I think that if I had my way, obviously you'd need more than one physical education credit in order to graduate, because I think it's important for people to learn how to take care of themselves and options they have after school. So things that they could do once they finish high school to keep themselves physically fit, or at least have a knowledge bank so they could adjust to whatever life situations they take on after high school, so they'd be able to keep themselves healthy.
What advice would you give to a person that may be interested in the profession?
Maybe do a co-op with a phys ed teacher. That might be a good idea. Make sure that maybe dealing with children would be a good idea. If you like being around children, maybe babysitting at your age, or dealing with maybe coaching in your community might be something that you could do to see if you like it, take a run at it.
Cool.
What aspects of the job are most enjoyable and least enjoyable?
Most enjoyable, I would say, getting to play in the gym for most of my day. It's always fun. Least enjoyable, I guess, dealing with different personalities in the classroom, maybe that don't always mesh together, or always the paperwork part isn't always great fun, but needs to be done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How do you motivate students who don't actively participate?
I guess trying different approaches to activities, or different activities to maybe find something that they actually like to do, or maybe just taking a different spin on it. We can always add things to games or change things in sports, maybe, or drills that maybe they'll get through one part because they know something better is coming and drive them towards the end. In some cases anyway.
Yeah.
How do you assess your students in physical education?
Well, they get some participation marks, so we want to know whether or not they're doing their best to improve whatever skill we're working on in that sport. So I would compare their starting point to their ending point as far as skill progression or skill development goes. And then just regular assessment on any kind of paperwork, whether they have the basic knowledge, so sports rules, and then any of the health topics. So there's usually 4 weeks of health in any phys ed program, so then there should be 4 or 5 kind of paper assignments that they would be assessed on as well.
Cool. Why did you choose to go into teaching, and what made you choose being a gym teacher?
My mom was a teacher, or yeah, she's retired now, but she was a teacher, and she always loved her job. I loved my high school phys ed teacher. She was awesome. So I kind of wanted to follow in her footsteps. She was my grade 9 science teacher and phys ed teacher. So I got a lot of her in 1 year, but yeah, I loved her. So I guess that kind of pushed me in the right direction. I also did a lot of coaching when I was younger and still now. So I like to be around kids and help them learn, I guess, new skills, and it lets me be in the gym and be physical all the time, which is great.
What educational path did you need to take to get your chosen occupation, and have those requirements changed, or could I follow the same path?
I did my undergrad in Windsor in kin, so I have a kin degree from there. I took a few years off, and you used to be able to supply without being certified. So I supplied in this board quite a bit, which kind of got my foot in the door. And then I went back to Teachers College, which for me was a year. Now it's 2 years. So you'd have to go back to Teachers College for a couple of years. And then I got hired right after that here, and I've been here ever since.
Okay. Is there an opportunity for advancement in this line of work, and does advancement require additional studies?
There's always courses we could do to upgrade different things. I could teach in different areas of the school if I wanted. With additional courses, again, I could do a principal's course and be vice principal or a principal. At this point, it's not something I'm interested in, but again, you can move up that way.
Okay, ready?
How has physical education changed in the past year since you've begun teaching? How do you think it will change in the future?
It hasn't really changed too much as far as concepts that we're teaching goes. That has changed, obviously, as it's going to. I've been teaching for almost 12 years, so obviously things change. We weren't in a situation where there was any kind of social media or anything like that 10 years ago. So obviously what we're teaching as far as health goes is much different than it was then. As far as our practices, we try to improve all the time by getting together with different teachers and changing things we're doing as far as our practices go. So we try to improve that way and be better teachers. But overall, I think it's close to the same, especially the in-house stuff, the in-gym stuff where it's a skill and a sport. Those things tend to remain pretty much the same.
Thank you, Ms. Marshall, for informing us about your career.
No problem.